Tropical storm Anna has caused floods and landslides affecting around 130,000 people in Madagascar as well as other parts of southern Africa. In total, 51 people have died in torrential droughts. That's in Madagascar since January, mid-January, in fact. For more on this, we're joined by the Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's John Roche. John, a very good evening to you. Welcome to the program. So just how many people are you assisting?
Yeah, well, obviously we are beginning these operations. As you know, with floods, it happens very fast. Areas become very inaccessible. But we are talking now across the 5 countries. I mean, we are talking almost more than 1 million people probably affected by this in different ways. So we are like, just for example, in Malawi, which has been one of the areas I am totally responsible for. Over 100,000 households affected, 500,000 people, which over 50,000 of those now are in the space camps, obviously in dry areas. We have several hundreds of households in Zimbabwe, and it's the same if you go to Mozambique, you go across, and this is unfolding. You know, as you said, our first response is around search and rescue. It's getting people to dry grounds and then making sure that they're protected. So this is just the beginning of this crisis.
Where are you seeing the greatest level of need?
Well, obviously, the need is now we move people from their homes. Again, if I show, the needs, I mean, are equal. I mean, again, as our Red Cross teams on the ground, we're working with the different national societies. This is what makes us, we're the largest humanitarian network in the world. We work with different partners. We have the national societies in the different countries, Mozambique Red Cross, Malawi Red Cross, Zimbabwe Red Cross, Zambia Red Cross. So the needs are really around now at the moment. What we're concentrating is making sure that people are in areas, dry land, protected, and then we have to feed them, shelter them, and then the next part. I mean, as I said, this is not just if the rain stop and the water subside, then the damage, we have to do the assessment of the damage, people's crops, their foods, livelihoods, all affected. So this is not something short term. This is going to be with us for the next several months. And the amount of infrastructure that has been destroyed, I mean, this is, the cyclone turned into a tropical storm, but the rains had come so heavy. Roads are cut off, bridges have been destroyed, and the whole livelihoods. And all of this in the backdrop of the pandemic of COVID, which is also our biggest concern, because now we have large amounts of people in camps, huddled together. So this could potentially be a bigger crisis.
And John, what about money? Is there enough to go around? Precisely because, as you're saying, there is still a long way ahead in more permanent assistance for the affected people.
Well, obviously, yes. We the Red Cross, obviously, we've been working. Part of our job has been. I mean, this is not the first time we've had such a crisis in the area. We've learned. So there was early warnings. We were able to. That's why the number of deaths is down. But that doesn't mean we should not. With floods, just judge on the less number of deaths. There is a bigger impact. Obviously, we have released money, like in Malawi, we've given them up to 500,000 to respond, and then we have other partners on the ground, like the Danish Red Cross, the Swiss Red Cross. We have also across the region many, because we are a network, and then we bring in resources. We are about to launch probably in the next few days, because now all the assessments and we are doing our analysis alongside others, like obviously partnering with the UN and the different governments in the different places. But we will launch appeals to get ready needs resources. So we've been able to manage and from already having pre-positioned stocks, because this is not the first time flooding we know in southern Africa. It comes in rounds, but obviously now as the teams come back from the front line, we realize the extent of what we face, and we will be appealing for funds in the next few days. And obviously in the backdrop of a pandemic, we know resources are tight, but this is going to potentially be serious. So obviously we will be, as I said, we will be publicly announcing our appeals over the next couple of days.
And have you found it easy, John, just the final one, to reach affected areas and people?
Well, yes. I mean, this isn't. We don't do this in isolation. We've been working very closely with the authorities on the ground, both in Mozambique, I mean, and Malawi, which I would say are probably the bigger affected areas, and to some extent in Zambia and also now in Zimbabwe. But we've been working with the authorities. We got access. I mean, the national disaster team from the government side. We have access to search and rescue in the sense of airplanes, working with local police. So this is a united effort, and obviously the teams are getting tired as they're coming back to see to really, as I said, at this stage is really getting people onto dry land and then dealing with the consequences afterwards of all the, as I said, people being displaced away from their homes, and then the impact it has on livelihoods, crops and infrastructure.
John Roche, a pleasure to speak to you, and good luck with all the work that you're doing out there to assist the thousands of people affected by this tropical storm in Malawi, Madagascar and Mozambique.